Hello, folks. It's been a long time, almost a year, but I did want to make a few videos. I'll probably do a couple here. I got lots of records, as always. Um, and it's been, what, a year since my last video. I think that I did something for Chris, probably wearing a pirate hat in that video as well, too. Um, but I've gotten some comments recently, and just folks are like, yeah, I used to love your videos, blah, 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 blah. So thanks for all those comments. But I did want to show you some stuff. I have really sort of moved into a different phase of my collecting, I guess you could say. Um, I don't want to I don't want to put a year on it because it always every time people do that, just kind of like feels like it's a badge of you know I've been collecting this long and I've been doing this for this long. Um, but there's always good music coming out and there's always new stuff, and I think that it's important to show some of those records and expand horizons. So it's not going to be a bunch of old garbage like it normally is, or it has been for the last couple. So yeah, so sit back and enjoy. So the first one I'm going to start with is here's a record that I obviously where I live, I we have the Andy Warhol Museum, and about a year ago, Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth did a what they call a sound series, which is basically just a concert at the museum. And it sort of led into other things. And she now has an exhibit at the Andy Warhol Museum, which I'll show you from the city paper. But it's called Kim Gordon Lo-Fi Glamour. Sorry if you're hearing noises. My neighbors are either using a dentist drill or it's their weed whacker that they use with the drill extension. But anyhow, so Lo-Fi Glamour. This is a really cool record. So this is actually from her sound series. What they did was, if you're familiar with Andy Warhol's work, there's a film movies, whatever you want to call them, that he did. It's called The Kiss, and it's basically just people just kissing each other. Lots of tongue kissing, lots of all that. And so Kim basically supplied the music for this. So they kind of played that and then she played over top of it. So um, it is a 2 LP set. It is on, it's kind of this, it's clear vinyl, but it has, I don't know which direction it is. There's parts of it that are of the movie. That's what that is. It's kind of hard to see. Um, Also comes with a really cool booklet and a download card, which right now to me that's super important. That's included because it really gives me that ability to do the sort of flexibility to, stream it and then also listen to it if I want to listen to it in on vinyl. It's sort of a pricey record, a little more than I'd like to pay, but again, this is just. I mean, it talks about all of the art pieces that are in the thing. I mean, it's really cool. So you're getting more than just a record. You're sort of getting, this record and the kind of a piece to go along with the actual art show. And it's only available at the Andy Warhol Museum, as far as I know. So if anybody is really if you're interested in a copy, I can go get you one and send it to you. I think that they don't really have like a website for it, but you can. I think you can message the store and they'll send it to you. I can help you out if you're interested. If that's a cool record, but it's really sort of this dissonant, avant-garde, just kind of noise record. It's kind of chill and I love it. It's something I've been listening to quite a bit. So let me see. I have a huge stack of records I'm going to go through, but the next one. This one, there's a secret group on Facebook that I'm a part of, and we were talking about some of the new music. And I think this came out. I want to say either in March or February. This is the Old Firm Casuals, Holjordansky, who is sort of this folk hero that he sits holding his sword, and when it is time to be awoken to basically go and protect the world. He does that, but until that time, he sleeps. So this is I guess you would maybe call it a side project. I don't. There's Lars Frederiksen and the Bastards. Don't. I think that band has broken up. Sorry for the noises. But he, of course, he was a guitar player in Rancid, and so he's sort of doing this thing. They're actually coming to town in about a month or so, so I may go. But this is like a punk record. There's a song on here called "Casual Rock and Roll" that is like the best song that AC/DC to like never recorded. The Motherland. It's a really quick record. It's only about like a half an hour or so, but I'm really enjoying this. I used to listen to a lot of punk music, and this sort of like hits that sweet spot. So Peter, thank you for pointing that out. And also from that record label, this is really cool. So like, actually the reason why that I sort of knew about this record label was because of this. I don't know if you guys are hip to this. This is the Landfill Crew, which is Tim Armstrong. It's kind of like, I want to say it's like a punk rock Gorillaz. It's interesting to see kind of where they're going to take this, but it's sort of like a cartoon. There's a couple of songs that they released so far, so it's like a double 7 inches, all that they have right now. But I ordered that as well. It's from a company called Pirates Press, and they press records. I think that I don't know if anybody that's familiar with them, but the cool thing that they do, so like punk rock, and I'm sorry if I'm talking fast because I'm excited about this. Like, so a long time ago when I was into punk rock, they would do these compilation CDs that you would get like, 15 songs or so for like $3. And it would just be all the bands that are on the record label. Great way to expose you to the other bands that are on the label. And that was sort of my introduction of punk. Is I didn't have a lot of money, so I was like a 16-year-old kid. But I did buy those compilations, and they sort of like. Then I would go see the bands for like $10, and I would buy their CDs and stuff like that. But what this label did is they have these things that they press up, and I guess they're sort of, I guess you could just call them a flexi, right? Just like a flexi disc. Um, and they're, just like a single-sided thing. But they threw a whole bunch of those in there. So, of course, the Old Firm Casuals, I'd ordered that from them. But this was really good. Probably going to pick up this album, too. It's a band called the Aggro Lights. Kind of like a reggae, they're a reggae band. It's not a ska band. But, again, really cool stuff. And then this was Charger Crackdown. But I don't know, these are great, and they sort of, they're low quality, which is, it's something that kind of excites me because it's like after a couple of plays, you can really start hearing like the surface noise on them. And this Aggro Lights one, I've played the crap out of. I've probably played like maybe like 50 times already at this point, and parts of it are starting to chip off, um, and I guess they said that this is what they did in Russia. This was how they used to do like singles, like back in Soviet Russia or whatever. So it's sort of like a kind of a throwback to that. It's a company that's in the Czech Republic, or Czech, whatever you want to say, Czechka. So yeah, very cool stuff from Pirates Press. Let's see. So swiftly moving on to here's an album that came out, I want to say in February. Stephen Malkmus, Denied Groove. I've been listening to this album like crazy as well too. Stephen Malkmus, of course, in Pavement, went on did Stephen Malkmus and the Jicks, also some solo stuff. I think really this is kind of only his, this is maybe his fourth actual solo album, or maybe it's really his second solo album, the Stephen Malkmus. The rest stuff is usually with the Jicks, but there's really cool stuff on here. Come Get Me is like a very Pavement song, like probably the most Pavement song that he ever did. But there's some sort of like interesting like synthesizer stuff that's on here. Victor Borga, if you go and look at if you search any of his like 3 videos on YouTube from this album, but Rushing the Acid Frat is also another one that's like is a pretty sweet video. It's just pretty cool. But yeah, Stephen Malkmus' Denied Groove. I think that came out, like I said, I think either February or March. I've been meaning to like make a video for a while because like I said, there's been a bunch of really cool stuff that I've been picking up, and it is mostly newer stuff. This is another one that's sort of been interesting to me. It's the Claypool Ennum Delirium, which I listened to kind of on repeat for a while. Haven't listened to it much recently, but definitely another one that I would highly suggest if you're looking for sort of new music or music that have come out in 2019. Check this one out. So it's Les Claypool from Primus, and then Sean Lennon uh, from John Lennon and Yoko, I guess you could say. Um, but yeah, like Little Fishes, Blood and Rockets. It's the whole album's great. Like Fleas, I really was digging this one, and my local, one of the local record stores to us that I usually get the new stuff at, didn't have it in stock, so I ordered it from I think Newberry Comics. But there's a couple different varieties. I think this one was just the the regular colored vinyl. Yeah, pretty much every record I think that I've shown so far has been. Maybe I'll go back real quick and show you this. The Old Firm Casuals one is on. It's kind of like this dark. It looks like it's black vinyl, but it's actually. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can see that there. It's sort of like a bluish, like a dark smoky blue kind of thing. Yeah, and I think the Stephen Malkmus one is on like just a clear white vinyl, or clear, not a clear white vinyl, but just clear vinyl. So another one that I got from, this is from Tompkins Square. This is more so, I guess, kind of in the vibe of the stuff that you kind of expect from what I normally show. But this is Kinloch Nelson. This is on the Tompkins Square label. It's called Partly on Time. And of course, Tompkins Square is a record label that, if you're sort of into the John Fahey sort of American primitive kind of guitar stylings, that's mostly what they focus on releasing. This is just basically this guy was he's a guitar picker, and he had a friend that they played together, and they kind of hooked up with John Phillips of the Mamas and the Papas, and he wanted them to like record some songs. And of course, this is just a different time. Like things were just worked differently, and his friend just sort of like skipped town, and he didn't have a number he could be reached at. So when the time that the actual kind of recording thing came around, that it didn't actually materialize. But very cool stuff. Again, like I said, Tompkins Squares. There's so much good stuff coming out on that label. Let's see what else. This was recommended by Chris over at Dick's Lions Farm. This is our Solar System Origins, and some of the guys in here from that band Dungeon or Dungan. I don't know how you wanna say it. Which is like a Swedish sort of kind of like a psychedelic band, but this is just a really cool kind of freak out kind of record. So get another colored vinyl thing there. If you're looking for sort of like new psychedelic stuff, and the band's kind of weird, and they're not too sure what's all going on there, this is definitely for you. I love this record, so thanks, Chris. Thank you for recommending this. I think I'll stop the video here. I'm gonna show one more. This is White Fence. This one I think came out, I won't even say like in maybe January. It's called I Have to Feed Larry's Hawk. I'm not totally sold on this quite yet. I mean, the thing that we do a lot, and I say we, I mean people that show YouTube videos with records, is where I was like, this is good, this is good, this is good, this is good. This is okay. It's not the best. It's a follow-up to, I think what he did, sort of did something with Ty Segall called Joy, like last summer. And this is sort of his first kind of solo thing. But there's some tunes he does here with H. Hawkline, which I saw play with Devendra Banhart a few years ago. But the only, like the lead track on here is the Lorelei. But then it's a 2 LP. One of the LPs is just sort of like this kind of looped synthesizer kind of stuff. So I definitely a couple more listens. The jury's still out on this one, but it's just okay. So if you're kind of into Tim Presley, definitely pick it up. But I don't know necessarily if I would like really recommend it right yet. I just haven't listened to it enough. So, but that's it for me. I'll do some more videos. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you later. Take care.